Hey, hi guys. So today I'll be sharing some information about APIs. It stands for Application Programming Interface, and it is basically just a bridge that allows interaction between two companies. Okay, so let's say this is a company A and this is a company B. APIs acts basically a bridge so that this company can send some data to this company, and this company will then do some function over this data and send a response back to company A. Okay, why is it required? So that they can expand their business. Now let me explain to you with a small example. Okay, I have built a small application for food ordering. Okay, food ordering application. Now to maintain that database, I am using let's say an online tool known as Airtable or Snowflake, which okay, this database basically has the list of food items like one plate of rice, two plate of chicken, those kind of data. And then I'm having a payments company also that allows online payments. So for a complete food ordering shopping experience, I would require the integration of all these three companies. Okay, this could be your PayPal, uh, Razorpay. This would could be MySQL, Snowflake, Airtable, and this would be some another application hosted on Play Store. So now what will happen is when a user will interact with this application, and let's say he selects two rice plates. This two and rice is sent via API to this database. Okay, this database will do a SQL search using two and rice, and then return, let's say the price of each plate of rice is 50 rupees. So the total amount would be around 2 into 50, it's to 100. Okay, so now this 100 amount will be sent to this online payments page that will basically convert this 100 amount into a payment link. Okay, and this link is then sent back to the end user. The end user what will now do is basically complete the payment on his mobile application. So to make his user experience, so to make his user experience complete and convenient, so that you don't have to like juggle between two three applications, we are using APIs. Okay, every software company has their own set of APIs that allows other companies to integrate with each other, because let's say this bridge can be only used by these two companies. Okay, so to secure this bridge, there's something known as access token. So just to summarize a bit in Hindi, अगर मुझे एक एप्लीकेशन बनानी है जो कि एकदम एंड टू एंड यूज़र को एकदम कंप्लीट एक्सपीरियंस दे, मुझे उसके लिए 3-4 कंपनीज के साथ अपने एप्लीकेशन को जोड़ना होगा. वो जोड़ने का काम करता है एपीआई. ओके, एपीआई बेसिकली एक ब्रिज होता है जो कि अलाउ करता है एक कंपनी को दूसरे कंपनी में डेटा भेजने के लिए, एंड फिर वहाँ पे हम लोग कोड लॉजिक लिखते हैं कि हाँ आप इस डेटा को आप कीजिए. सो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर एक यूज़र आया, उसने 2 राइस प्लेट ऑर्डर किया, तो वो 2 एंड राइस डेटाबेस पे जाएगा, सर्च होगा कि हाँ भाई 2 राइस प्लेट है कि नहीं, और उसका फिर अमाउंट कितना है, एंड ये अमाउंट फिर जाता है ऑनलाइन पेमेंट्स में, जो कि उस अमाउंट को कन्वर्ट करके वापस यूज़र को भेजता है कि आप पेमेंट्स कंप्लीट कीजिए। तो एक ऐप पे जैसे बेसिकली हुआ कि मैंने सिलेक्ट किया 2, ऐड टू कार्ट हुआ, एंड फिर डायरेक्टली मैं पे करता हूँ। ये पॉसिबल होता है अगर हम सारी कंपनीज़ के साथ इंटीग्रेट करें। ठीक है, अब मैं आपको एक रियल एग्जांपल दिखाऊंगा कैसे एपीआई में डेटा ट्रांसफ़र होता है एक। ओके, so I'll be explaining this API now in with a real time example. Let's consider my left hand side as company A and my right hand side as company B. This is basically a free webhook site that allows me to mock up an API request. This tool is known as Postman. uh, every API has a particular URL through which that entire interaction happens. To secure this interaction, we always use an authentication type. If it's a simple API that doesn't require complex data, we use a basic auth. Whereas if it's a very like critical security risk kind of data, then we will be preferring to use auth 2.0 method or API key method. Okay, generally it supports these 5 to 6 methods, but in general use get, post and delete, patch are the functions that we are using. Get is basically to get the data, post is to send the data, and delete is to basically delete the data. Patch is for updating the data. Now let's say, I'll now explain with a real example. Let's say a user has opened a food app and he has selected 2 plates of rice. So the data that would be sent automatically upon his button click is rice, and let's say the amount is 100. So on the UI, on the front end interface, the user is just clicking on the button. As soon as he clicks the button, that button data is transferred to company B that may be having the database or a payments link that will do further operations. But if you see this format, this is known as a JSON format. You can send this data in HTML format also, XML format also, GraphQL format also, but generally JSON format is the most widely acceptable format. So upon your button click, we are sending 3 information, that is rice, 2, and the amount. Ultimately, let's say the company B would be generating a payment link using 200 is the amount of the payment link. Okay, that will be handled by this company. So what happens is, as soon as the end user clicks on that button, basically in the backend this data is sent to company B, and you can see the format it has been received. It's the same format. Now this company will be extracting the data, the quantity and the amount, and returning a payment link back to this company. Okay, so this is how basically a company interacts. So let's say now the user uh, selected something as dal, which is let's say 5, and the amount is 50. So as soon as he clicked on those buttons in his mobile application, let's the quantity 2, he selected plus 2. What happens is, on the back end this data is sent to the basically the next company who would be processing, let's say generating a payment link or searching through food. But this interaction is done by the API. So you see how this is happening. So this is basically an what this is basically the job of an API. Why are APIs required? So that multiple companies can integrate with each other and expand their businesses. To explain in Hindi, API एक ब्रिज होता है. हर कंपनी एक यूनिक लिंक देती है जिसके ऊपर ये पूरा ट्रांजैक्शन होता है. इस ट्रांजैक्शन को सिक्योर करने के लिए हम लोग एक पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मेट यूज़ करता है, जो कि ऐसे ब्रैकेट की मैप पेयर्स होते हैं, जो कि लेट्स से कॉलम नेम हो गया, ये उसका वैल्यू होता है. ठीक है, जैसे ही हम लोग ये डेटा सेंड करते हैं, जब भी एक यूज़र क्लिक करता है अपने मोबाइल पे कुछ भी, तो बैकएंड में ये डेटा सेंड होता है, एंड ये कंपनी भी अब इस डेटा को लेके एक पेमेंट लिंक बना के वापस यूज़र को भेजेगी. सो इसीलिए API रिक्वायर होता है. ये APIs हो सकता है ये कंपनी बी ऑलरेडी पब्लिकली अवेलेबल करके दे कि हाँ भाई आप मुझे मंथली $50 दीजिए, मैं आपको अपना APIs दूंगा ताकि आप पेमेंट लिंक हमारे से जनरेट कर सकें। ओके, सो दिस इज़ वाई जब भी कोई एक SaaS बेस्ड सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी बनाती है तो वो APIs भी एक्सपोज करते हैं ताकि दूसरे कंपनीज कस्टमर्स आके उसको और यूज़ कर सकें। ओके, पोस्टमैन एक बेस्ट टूल होता है API के लिए। एंड AI में का इसमें कैसे फ़ायदा हुआ है, ये जो डेटा अब जनरेट होता है ये अब AI ही जनरेट कर लेता है। AI को पता है कि कौन सी API को कब एग्जीक्यूट करना है, कब उसे डेटा चाहिए या कब उसे डेटा भेजना है, ये AI अब जानता है। सो इसलिए